here. Parents in the audience, thank you so much for coming. Same message, don't be shy, ask questions. This is a fantastic group of parents that we put together, and very thankful for your time and for helping us kind of like give your voice from the parents' perspective to our new families at Basis, Baton Rouge City. All right, so um, there is not a particular format for this event. It's just really very casual. My guess as a new families, you'll perhaps have questions about the day-to-day operations. Um, I believe the majority of these families have been with us since the beginning, since the very beginning, almost all of them, but then a couple of them, couple of years. So you have a good mix of experience. So feel free to really ask any questions. Again, I'm the head of a school here, but our new head of a school for Mid City is joining us. She's currently the head of a school at Basis Austin in Texas, and then she's coming. Miss Thompson has. Yes, we have one question in the audience. So
do I turn that way?
Yeah.
Oh, what teacher will he have?
Okay, so the question is, that's a very good question. So the question is, what teacher would I have? I heard, and again, Ms. Thompson, feel free to interrupt me if you want to answer any questions. There you go.
She's trying
Yeah,
to.
here I am.
Brian, can you pin
Here I am.
Yeah, let me see if
Can
we
you
can
hear?
ping her. I think your new head of school is going to answer that question because I know she's working very hard to get you guys the best possible teacher. So we're gonna work to see if we can get it
What grade
on
are you
camera.
going? What grade is he going into, Roberto?
I can't hear. Wait, hold on. I'm from.
Right. Let's see if we can.
Oh, like, I feel like she needs to get off.
Okay.
Oh. Like, how do we make her a player? Do you know, Brian?
But do you know how Miss Thompson can?
Dory, I would
Like here,
suggest
they
that
can see
you
her?
turn your camera off, please. I think we might be getting some
Excuse me, one
interference
second.
there. Thank you. I'm not sure what's happening. Can anybody hear me? Laura, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think we're waiting for the in-person to kind of figure out the best way for them to be able to hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
We're muted, Roz, but you're good now.
I'm good now? Okay. So I wanted to know what grade that young man was going into so I could answer him specifically. Not sure it's still working.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Okay. Well, yes, Mr. Ramirez is absolutely correct. I have been working very hard and have talked to some great kindergarten teachers. So as soon as we have some teachers hired, we will put them up on our Facebook page so that you can see them. And then you'll know exactly which one is your teacher in early August when we'll have a Meet the Teacher event. Can you wait that long, please? Please? Okay, there are a couple of questions in the chat that I'll be happy to answer for you. Are there other languages offered in addition to Mandarin, and kind of what is the daily schedule? We haven't done schedules yet, but depending on the grade, your children will have a very full day. We require Mandarin in grades K through 4, and then in grades 5 and 6 we do Latin. In 7th we do linguistics, and then students get a choice in 8th grade that we hope they take all the way to the AP. So don't worry about if your kids have never spoken Latin. Most kids coming to BASIS, Mandarin, most kids coming to BASIS have not. We will get them up to speed very, very quickly, and you'll be amazed at how quickly students learn Mandarin. Teachers and administrators, not so much, but the kids do very, very well with it. We have Mandarin because it gives us a lot of pluses other than just the fact that it is one of the most widely spoken languages around. It also is great for listening skills. It is great for fine motor skills. And it also uses the part of the brain that controls creative thinking. So that's why we have Mandarin. What's next, Roberto?
Thank you, thank you. So now I wanted to break the ice. I want to invite one of our parents so they can share with our audience why they chose BASIS. I know there are different reasons, so I want to invite one of our parents to come here, maybe a couple to share why they chose the school, why it's a good fit for their kids. So who would like to start breaking the ice? Miss Pallavi, all right.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Pallavi here, and I have a second grader in BASIS Matera campus. Akshad is my son, and he joined
Shannon, can you unmute your computer? We actually can't hear online.
Echoes. Yeah. All right. I'm unmuted, but it's just echoing.
I think if Brian mutes his and then yours is unmuted, we should be good.
I don't know how much everybody heard, but
You just rehearse now. You can.
Yeah. Try again.
okay, that was a good rehearsal. So this is Pallavi here, and my son Akshaj is in second grade in BASIS Matera campus, and he started with BASIS Matera campus when he was in kindergarten. And as I was just mentioning, we didn't have any reference schools. What is good? We were new to Baton Rouge. So for us, we saw Debbie, and she welcomed us like anything, and she made us so comfortable that this is going to be the school for our son. And he's loved this school. He has got so much of exposure, and he's got so much of confidence that he can do what he needs to do at second grade. The competition level in the school has given me that confidence that he can be built up to what we need him to be. So I've heard my friends talking about other schools, but I have not had personal experiences with any other schools. For me, BASIS has been that baseline. I cannot take anything else other than that. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're gonna be a great BASIS student. Ms. Fan, do you wanna share with us why you chose BASIS for your son?
Walking like I don't know how to wear heels because I've been wearing it for like 6 months. Hey everybody, my name's Fawn Ty. My son is Brady Laguna, and he is actually in the 6th grade here at BASIS Matera. He was here since the beginning. The school only opened 2-3 years ago. He came here in 4th grade. So we kind of have a little bit of a different story from the first parent, and that is that my son came from another school, and it was in East Baton Rouge Parish School System, a public school. And I actually have a ton of comparison because he was in pre-K at a different school, and then he went to a different school for right before this school. And I also was a teacher in the system. So I've been to a ton of schools. I've observed many schools and so forth. And with that comparison, I will tell you, this is one of the best decisions I ever made, was to go to BASIS. And it was not without fear and a lot of anxiety and doubt. And in fact, Miss Haley, she's the one over the education coordinator. She was here. She would tell you, I literally came 2 nights in a row, open house, even though you were supposed to go one because I was so scared. I came again because I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision. And then after 1 week of school, I actually even emailed her and said, I don't know if I made the right choice. You know, I'm that mom. Okay, that is just anxious all the time. But Brady came in here 4th grade, and so he just had a curriculum that was the 3rd grade level. And when he came here in 4th grade, they actually are teaching things at the 6th grade level. So it's really scary, and it was really rough. It was not something I didn't realize was going to happen. I knew that. It was a special situation because these kids are coming from other schools. So we had a very, challenging first year. When you come in kindergarten, it's a little bit better. You're kind of all on the same playing field. As you get older, the gap gets a little bit better. But I would tell you what impressed me so much, just insanely impressed me about BASIS compared to the hundreds of schools I've been to. It didn't matter what level you came in at. First off, they accepted anybody, a lottery system. But BASIS worked so hard to meet the needs of my child and to narrow that gap. I mean, they did so much, offered tutoring, all kind of stuff. And you hear that all the time. You hear schools saying like, yeah, we're going to be challenge school, but we believe that everybody can make it. They really do. And they did everything they can to help them. And I'm proud to say, like, he started making straight A's and everything. He's been confident. It's everything. And I forgot to say a special thing about my child is autistic. He's very high functioning autistic. So he has a special situation in which I kind of have to be concerned about little other things, not just academics, but bullying and social aspects and all that. And everything they have told us from day one was true and was met. And it just was amazing. So we chose the school honestly because we had, and if you have autistic, you probably know too, we had a very hard time figuring out where do you put a kid who has special needs, but actually also can function very well. And it was a challenge. And this was, like I said, one of the best decisions we've ever made. And I'm so proud of him. And I think, I hope he stays here till 12th grade, so, but thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Thank you so much. And probably we can take the opportunity to come here and then introduce themselves and then maybe share with us why you chose BASIS. So they do very family.
Hey everybody, my name is Megan Seabury and this is my husband Nathan. We come from an interesting background. So both of my parents are educators, and my father ran the Sylvan Learning Centers in the Baton Rouge area for over 30 years. My mom's a teacher of 30 years. My mother-in-law is also a teacher. I'm a speech pathologist by trade. I've done therapy in public schools and private schools for 12 years in the Baton Rouge area. So I knew exactly what I was looking for and was kind of discouraged before BASIS came along that it didn't exist. I wanted challenging curriculum, but I wanted diversity. I wanted encouragement. I wanted to push kids, but not squash them down, which is a very thin line. And I also wanted fine arts. I come from a musical theater background, so that was really important to me, that we were feeding the academics, but we were also understanding how important drama and music and art are to building those skills as well. BASIS knocked it out of the park. So our oldest, Libby, is a 2nd grader, and we came to BASIS with a very old kindergartner. She was turning 6 that November, and she was already reading. So one of my biggest concerns was that she was going to fall behind in being able to be challenged. She was bright and smart, a little bit sassy, and I needed someone to challenge her and to encourage her to keep learning. And BASIS has done that 100-fold. I mean, she was reading the Harry Potter series. I think she's read it 15 times now in first grade. Math has been challenged. I mean, I probably should have brought it up here, but Libby was frustrated today that she wasn't invited to speak with you guys. Oh, there it is. So we have a bulleted list here of what makes BASIS so amazing. Furthermore, I have a kindergartner, and my kindergartner is very different. She's quiet and sensitive, emotional, and I knew that I needed a different approach with my kindergartner compared to my second grader. And it has been so amazing and encouraging seeing how each child has been met where they are and challenged appropriately and loved tremendously. Like, I mean, the first weekend that Eleanor was in kindergarten, she came home crying that Friday that Miss Pena was going to miss her over the weekend. I was like, baby, she's going to be okay. She needs her break too. And just, I mean, she loves Miss Pena and Miss Claiborne so much, and to see them talk so fondly about their teachers. But to kind of sum it up, this was Libby's notes for you guys. She said all the teachers are nice. If you're in kinder, you're learning first grade stuff and so on. You get 3 recesses, which is really big to a student. And BASIS can help you read on really high levels. You get to learn new skills. So we love it here.
I'll just add also that both of us went to private schools here in Baton Rouge. And for us, when we started having, kids, we were like, private school, that's the only option for us. And we actually got into a private school before we found out about BASIS. And some of the private schools we can afford, some of them we can't. But and I think I've told Roberto this before too. But if we could afford any private school here in town, there's not a chance we'd switch at this point because of everything we love about BASIS. So.
Thank you so much. You want to go next?
Hello, everybody. My name is Sofia Omar, and I have a son here at BASIS. He's in 5th grade. He's been here for 2 years, and honestly, I don't know what else to say about BASIS besides what all the parents say. They said it all. The only thing that I can say is when we first moved in, my son here, we were concerned because he came from a small private school, and we weren't sure how he was going to navigate himself in a larger group. But because of the great staff members here, I mean, the transition was he was fine. First 2 weeks, he complained about, homework, I don't want to do math every single day. But now math is his favorite subject. So, but we love it here. My son loves it here. I don't know what else to say about BASIS? We love it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Larry. I have a 3rd grader here. We've been here 2 years. So I've been in Baton Rouge for a long time. I was born here. We were in a private school since my daughter, who's 3rd grader now, so she was 8 months. And we loved it. Everything was great. BASIS came along, and we did our research. The Outcomes magazine, we read everything in Outcomes. We did the research online with the other schools and looked at pretty much the numbers academically. So for us, where we were at a very diverse school, which was very important to us. And it was great academically. But then when you look at the numbers here, you realize this is a great opportunity. So for us, our mindset was, if I blinked my eye today and woke up and my daughter was taking ACT or getting ready for college, what is gonna make her best prepared to do well and open up those doors for the rest of her life? So that was it for us. And when we started to just look at the data and realize that they have this system in place with the education that they provide here and throughout all the other BASIS systems, we realized that this is the best opportunity. As a bonus for us, the other things that are important to us started to fall into place when we started to kind of get around and meet people and know people. And then we started to find out this is a very diverse school. That was very important to us. On top of the academics, we knew that this school had performed. And the teachers, most upbeat, positive, happy people you're going to meet. The staff, the faculty, everyone is just positive, happy. My daughter loves it every day. Awesome, fist bump. It's just, she loves it here. And you see that from the teachers. That's just how they are. That's who they are. And they, you know, they're all very qualified. They go through what they go through to become qualified. And when they come here, it's pick of the litter. It's the best of the best are applying to come here. And that's who we get to teach our kids. And on top of that, you have the diversity. You have these great human beings, these people who are always happy and motivated and positive. They have systems in place to deal with any situation with kids and with bringing positive and a positive outlook and a positive outcome. And when you have those things that come together, you may hear that the academics here are challenging, but when you have pumped up teachers, pumping up kids that are motivated and they're giving them responsibilities that allows them to believe in themselves and realize that, oh, I can do that. And when they realize they do it, they grow and they do more and more. The academics is cruise control, man. So I was in y'all's shoes a couple years ago, and I'm telling you, I made the move here in our family, and we are very, very happy. So is our kid. Thanks.
Thank you, appreciate it. So we'll open it to you if you guys have any particular questions about like about the school, about what you expect for your kids. So feel free to raise your hand, and I'll say your question aloud. Anyone? Don't be shy. Yes. So the question is, do we plan to go up to 12th grade at the Mid-City campus? Ms. Durbin or Ms. Thompson, let me know if you want to answer that, or if no, I will be happy to do so.
Roberta, you can go ahead and answer it. That is not a problem.
She's trying to talk.
Okay. I think Ms. Thompson is going to answer.
Oh, okay. Am I on? Okay. Yes, your child will be able to graduate from a BASIS school in Baton Rouge. So not to worry about that. We will continue to add grades until we get all the way through 12th grade. But in any city that we're in, that's what we do. Once you get started, you can't put us down. Emily, do you have a question?
I do, thank you. In what grade do they start receiving letter grades? And also, when do they start like taking tests on their different subjects regularly?
That would start in kindergarten. So kindergartners will get letter grades on their core academics, which are language and literacy, math, civics, history, and science. And then they will get, so A to F grades on those. And then on their other classes, their specials, they get an SPNU, which is like satisfactory, passing, that kind of thing. They will start tests in kindergarten also. So they'll have regular tests in kindergarten.
Okay, can you describe how a kindergarten test before they can read, like how that's administered?
Sure. Again, remember that we have a pretty rigorous curriculum. And so and we're teaching at a first grade level, but you know, kids come in not being able to read or being able to read, etc. So we have many ways that we do that. It might be oral. It might be, you know, with a teacher marking an answer. But we do want them to get used to that process and get used to being accountable for what they're learning.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Put your hand down, Emily. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Is there anything in place like summer learning so where I'm able to make sure he's on track so that he follows once he does enter into the basic school in third grade?
All right. Ms. Thompson, the question was, my son is coming into the first grade curriculum. He's coming from another school. Are there any systems in place? Excuse me. Are there any systems in place at BASIS to make sure that my kid adapts to the school, catches up, and is successful at an accelerated curriculum without the preparation from the year before? So, would you like to answer that, Ms. Thompson?
Sure.
Or, yes.
Absolutely. And I think that is one of the things that we do best. So the first grading period, we do a lot of assessing of the students as well as review and figuring out what they know and what they don't know. Because as a public school, obviously, we take in whoever wants to apply up through the lottery, and we never know quite, you know, who's going to come. And we know that students are coming from a variety of academic environments. So our goal is to meet every child where they are in the classroom. And we start that in the first part of the first grading period, making sure that we know, and then the teachers put plans together to say, okay, this is how I am going to get Ashley up to speed, or this is how I'm going to get Brian up to speed. And then we work throughout the year with a lot of student support that may be within the classroom or outside of the classroom to make sure that your child thrives.
From the audience. Okay, I think we have our friend in kinder that has a question.
Okay.
Come here, so you can ask the question. Come here.
No,
That's a very good question.
I am very excited to meet this very
let's see.
aggressive young man.
So, like, how many friends in the class?
How many friends?
All right, Ms. Thompson, the question was, how many friends in the classroom?
Okay. So you are going to have two teachers in your classroom, and you're going to probably have somewhere between 28 and 30 friends.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. He was jumping up and down.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, I'll ask the question. I'll repeat the question aloud. So, Ms. Thompson, the question is like, can you describe a little bit of the after school program or late bird program?
Sure. So our late bird program is intended, obviously, to help you out because we know that you don't get off of work, you know, sometime 3:30 or 3:45. So from dismissal until 5:30, I think, in Baton Rouge, we will keep your children for a fee, and we will make sure that they get started on their homework. And we will have adults there that can help them with that so that the vast majority, if not all of it, can be finished before they even get home. Then they will have time to socialize and recreate and run around the playground until you come and pick them up. And you can pick them up anytime from dismissal through that ending of late bird. We call it late bird. So there is a fee attached to that, and we'll be sending out information about that. You have to sign up. We'll send out information about that this summer. You can sign up for the whole school year. You can sign up for a semester, or we also have drop-in. So if there comes a day where you just can't get your kids, we can do drop-in.
If it's something that the families would be interested in, I think it would be great to hear from some of the parents on extracurricular.
And we also participate in the national school lunch program. So we have free or reduced lunch. If our families qualify for free and reduced lunch, there is also a scale fee or a free fee for our after school program. So we want to make sure that our services are accessible to everyone. So I want to turn it back to our panel. So I have a question for you about organizational skills, study habits. Sometimes at BASIS, we really emphasize responsibility in the student. We make sure that the kids, starting in kindergarten, carry a planner, write their homework. We call it communication journal. So you're gonna hear the word CJ a lot. We wanna make sure that they have their binders in place, that they go to their copies, pick up whatever they need for the next class. Pre-COVID, when we were transitioning class to class, this year is a little different, but we wanna make sure the kids build all those study habits, time management. So the goal is when they leave us, when they're 18 and they leave you and they go to college and they're on their own, they're ready. They're ready. In the process, we might have some bumps in the road because kids are gonna have a hard time getting organized. They're gonna lose assignments, and we are gonna try to help them. So by the time they graduate from high school, they're ready to go. So the question is, because I know that there is a process, I know that building those study habits, sometimes it's hard, and then sometimes we need to catch them up and intervene. But I wanted to see if one of our families wants to share with us some of the things that you appreciate about the organizational skills, some of the challenges that you have had, and maybe some success stories after you experience some of those challenges, so our families can kind of hear from you. So anyone that wants to talk about that. All right, you want to share, Pallavi? Thank you.
So, am I on? Okay. So, according to my experience, Akshay has always preferred to be in the late bird. He loves being in the late bird because he gets to do his homework with his friends, and he comes home to play. He's always preferred that, and he gets it's like a cool thing for him. It's not even a homework for him. So he finishes it in late bird, comes home all free, and he's ready to play at home. That's been our experience with him always. But if he has any challenge, immediately a message on the parent square to the teacher, the next day he gets extra help on that. Or he's get to, what is he missing? If we are not able to help him the same way they have taught him in the school, I write a message on the parent square to that particular teacher, and the next day they sit with him and it's cleared up for him. So that is the kind of support I've always got for Akshay. And he's been really, really open, and he comes and tells us, as Mr. Roberto was telling, they write on the CJ what they learn on that day. So we exactly know what has been covered for them, so we can also trace it back. We need to sign it every day to see what's been done on the CJ. So it gives us an opportunity to know what our kid has learned. So to be in track with what they are doing in school. So it's very transparent, and it's very easy for us to track it. That's been my experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to add something different or the same? Fun?
Hey, everybody. My son is the most disorganized person on earth, I swear. And the kind of person I am, it drives me nuts. But I kind of had to just accept the fact that he's different from me. Things don't come naturally. He doesn't mind that the paper's crumbled up and at the end of his book stack and everything. And like I said, he does, he is autistic. He has some accommodations. And so I want to speak about in his situation. He has also hypotonia, which is low muscle tone. So he doesn't write quite well. If you look at his writing, it's like worse than a kindergarten child, and he's 12 now. But that's just a physical aspect of a struggle that he has that we still work on. We don't give up. We don't say, well, we just don't use the pen. So you still do, but then we have to make accommodations so that his focus is more on the content instead of the physical aspect of writing. So because of that, one of the accommodations he gets is guided notes. And I do also want to say the special education program here is insane. Okay, it is amazing. They do things before I have to ask. They catch things. I was so impressed at the first meeting when they said Brady is an auditory learner. And I'm like, how do you guys know that? First off, I have never heard of an auditory learner, and I did, trainings and stuff on multiple intelligence and stuff like that. And I don't know anybody who's an auditory learner, but my son is. He looks like he's not looking at you. He hears everything, and that's how he learns, by sound. But because of it, my son gets notes. And then we actually just had our meeting last Friday about this. And then he also writes notes because for one, I want him to continue to write notes. For two, he wants to look like the other kids. All the other kids are taking notes and so forth. And so he has double the documents that everybody has, and his book stack is crazy. It's insane. So what we found with Brady and with this school that's helped us a lot is that sometimes the system doesn't work for one kid or another, but they will help you figure it out for your child. And the CJ that they do, and every grade does this, and at first I thought like, is that really necessary? It's a planner that comes home, and every day in every subject they learn what the topic is, or if they have homework or a quiz come up or something like that. And then they ask us as parents every day to check and sign the bottom. First it was annoying. I'm like, do I really have to sign this every day? And sometimes I'll skip it. They will circle and let you know they know you skipped it. But what happens is after a while, a few months, I start realizing this is teaching my child to be very accountable for what he's doing in class. And actually, it's a form of communication. I know he's doing something in class. It makes him write down what he's doing in class. And also, to be honest, it makes parents also accountable because we can't pretend that education is a one-way street where it's like, oh, I'm sending to school, the teachers, administrator deal with that. It doesn't work like that. I'll be honest. And, you step back and you want to be like, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not my job. I don't get paid for that. Your child to be successful, you have to be part of the education process. And BASIS sets that up to help you be a part of that process by letting you know everything is happening. And the teachers will write notes to you in there also. So it's very critical, and it kind of builds a habit for all of us, for the teachers who've been at other schools that didn't do it, for our kids, for me as a parent, and it really helps a lot. And after a while, at the beginning, they're like, is this necessary? After a while, actually, it just becomes something that becomes a positive habit that the kids have formed. And I am a firm believer that we have to build these habits now. And then in the future, despite they don't know it's good for them, in the future, these habits are going to help them, that they are accountable, they know what they're doing, they have a routine, all of that's going to help them. So the organization is part of it. I'll be honest, as having a teenage boy, it is a struggle every day. And like we took I think we spent like 2 hours every night this week trying to set up a whole new system for him, everything, because in 6th grade, you guys might not be aware of that, but he takes physics, chemistry, biology, okay, and then algebra 1, Latin. Like it is some hardcore classes, okay, that he's taken, and so it's a lot of stuff. But we built a whole system. There was a fight and everything, to be very honest, but now I feel like you can see how it's helping him. And like I said, it's not just about now. He's gonna end up. He's in 6th grade. He's gonna go 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I can't be there holding his hand the whole time. I have to set this up so that he gets used to it. He feels that this is just something he has to do, and then eventually gets in the habit of making it a habit in his life, and it will help him, throughout and in his workplace and everything. And I hope he's successful due to all this. So.
Thank you. And just raise your hand if you have other questions. I want to switch a little bit to kind of like maybe community extracurriculars, kind of like the times when we come together as one. So maybe if anyone was to share anything particularly that your kids enjoy, either about an extracurricular or a field trip or an event created by boosters, by the men's club, like whatever you guys wanna share. Should I choose one or someone that is particular? All right, Larry.
Again, so extracurriculars, there's lots of options. Last year, my daughter did coding club, and she really excelled in that. I'm not a math guy, but yeah, she loved it. She did really well. She'd come home and build programs. It was, I mean, write programs. She did very well. She loved it. So that's coding. There was a lot of, like this year she's doing soccer. She's doing a couple others, but there are lots of different extracurricular activities for lots of different interests that people have. If it's some kind of athletic thing or some kind of, computers or whatever the case is, there's lots of options there. We have a busy schedule outside of school, so this year all we're doing is soccer, but it's an extracurricular activity that she really enjoys, and it's a ton of fun. Outside of the extracurricular activities, I'm part of the men's club. Last night we had a meeting, and we do things here to just help with the school. We have a lot of course, last year was a lot, but this year's been different with COVID. But we do a lot of just a lot of functions here at the school, feeding people whenever they have events. We will cook. It's just like a great sense of community that we got to come together as the parents, as the kids, seeing them in a different light, the teachers, faculty, and stuff, seeing them at different events, and it's a really good community. It's a fun community, and there's a lot of buy-in from parents. The parents are really involved. We have a very, very good men's club. The booster club is phenomenal, and it's just those parents, the buy-in that we have to do things for this school, it just makes it that much better. And it's because we believe in it, and our kids believe in it, and we're going to do what we can outside of the classroom to make it even better. So there are opportunities for parents outside of the classroom to get involved, meet people, and help and do stuff. There's opportunities for kids to maybe find something outside of the classroom that they have an interest. My daughter would have never thought about coding and computers. And last year she did it, and oh my gosh, she fell in love with it. So there's those options and those opportunities for your kids outside of the regular classroom that they may not be able to have an interest in anywhere else. And BASIS might have that different extracurricular activity that they try out, and then you find out that your kid's really interested in something that they've never had that opportunity. So those are things that outside of the classroom that BASIS provides that we enjoy.
Thank you so much. And then I think we have a question in the chat. I'll read it aloud. I think, Ms. Thompson, I think that's a good question for you to answer. So the question is, how do we ensure as a mid-city school to hire the same caliber staff that we have here at Baton Rouge Matera?
I'm happy to answer that one. And if you didn't know it, that Roberto and I are attached at the hip. We've been working together for a very long time, and we tend to think alike. But there is a certain kind of teacher that we know works very well at a BASIS school, and it's not every applicant. We are very picky in who we hire for our schools. This is either the 5th or 6th, I've sort of lost count, school that I have opened for BASIS, and and they've been all over the country. So I've gotten pretty good at it in terms of knowing what works best in those individual cities, from one of our private schools in Brooklyn to a school in the suburbs of Phoenix to Austin to Baton Rouge. And what we're looking for is the same. And we will find it. We will not settle for teachers. The other thing is that we give our teachers within the BASIS network the opportunity to transfer. Every year around the end of the middle of the school year, we put out a notice and say, where would you like to be? Where do you want to transfer to? And we do have some transferees who are very interested in coming to Mid-City. They have to, again, pass muster. So they have to have the recommendation of their head of school. And then we vet them to see if they will fit into this environment. So I think you will find the quality of our teachers is pretty level across all the BASIS schools, and certainly will be across Matera and Mid-City. Roberto and I had a meeting today talking about that very subject. So we are on it.
And I agree. I mean, one of our most important tasks as a head of a school is to find the best possible teachers for kids. They're the ones that make the biggest impact in the school. So, and we were very, very hard and we're very diligent in finding those professionals. And I want to say too, a lot of those fantastic teachers look for BASIS. A lot of teachers only apply for BASIS because this is the type of school they want to work for. So please don't worry. I know that Ms. Thompson is very experienced, and I'm sure she'll find the best possible teachers for your kids. So it's close to 7. We're gonna have I'm gonna close with one question for our panel. So hopefully you guys can answer that. So the question is, what was the hardest thing to get used to when you joined BASIS?
The hardest, I think, concept for us to adjust to joining BASIS was that BASIS was a closed campus. And so very unique to other schools in the area. BASIS doesn't have parents on campus. There's no peeking in classrooms. I can remember going home after the first informational meeting and talking to my mom. And she had made the point as a teacher. She said, my least favorite time as a teacher was when parents came in to pick up their child because students act differently in front of their kids. And you sometimes lose I don't think I can find the right word, but like the power of learning when you have people coming in and out of a school. It's like, all right, well, that's kind of an interesting perspective. Okay. And then we came into BASIS, and I 100% agree with that. And then I think what's also helped me adjust to the closed campus is the numerous opportunities for parents to come in for things like lunch on the lawn, or a Halloween event, or there's an Easter egg event coming up, and there's so many. There's music things, and there's drama, and there's grading period ceremonies, and you are here a lot. I mean, if you looked at my schedule as a therapist, I'm blocked out for BASIS things all the time, every single month, just dropping in. And I think it makes that special time with your student when you are here on campus, like, Mom, Dad, look at this. They're so excited to show off their school. And then at the same time, it preserves that, integral time for learning as well.
That was great. Thanks so much. That was perfect. Who wants to go next? Thank you.
For me, the hardest thing was my son is kind of shy, so I wasn't sure if he was going to make friends like I said, he came from a smaller group of a small school to a larger group. But that was never an issue anymore because he was he made friends, and he's not as shy anymore, actually. Yeah, that was it.
Nothing hard. Okay, Miss Thompson. I think we're wrapping up with questions. Would you like to close the evening?
Sure. Thank you, Roberto. Again, thank you to the Matera parents for your great words of wisdom. That was very, very helpful. Thank you to all of you who attended, and my fingers have been flying in the chat, so you can take a look there and get some more answers. As we've been noting, I will be in Baton Rouge the last week of March, and we've got some events planned that week also. I think the thing that you will find is that wherever you go, the BASIS schools, when you walk in the door, they all feel the same. You know you're in a BASIS school. And that is absolutely what we are striving for at Mid-City. So, don't be concerned that, the school, what is it, 5 or 7 miles up the road is going to be very different. It won't. We may do some things differently, but a BASIS school is a BASIS school is a BASIS school. And that's how we have been so successful for almost 23 years now. So I'm excited to meet all of our Mid-City families, and we'll do some things together with Matera, and we'll all become BASIS kids. Thank you.
Like to thank our families again for being with us this evening and give them a round of applause. So thank you so much, and you can give them a virtual round of applause too. Thank you everybody.